5 demonic candy brands. Christians must avoid this Halloween. Every October, Christians ask the same thing. What's the harm in handing out a little candy? It feels harmless, but that's exactly how darkness gets invited in. This year, you need to look closer, because some of the most popular Halloween treats open our spirit to demonic influence. This is a warning, because once you see what's really behind these brands, you'll never walk down the candy aisle the same way again. 2 Corinthians 11:14 says, Satan disguises himself as an angel of light, and there's no brighter disguise than the glow of Halloween night, pumpkins shining, costumes everywhere, and children laughing with bags full of sweets. Yet that's how the enemy works. It turns celebration into deception, and Christians like you and I into participants of dark rituals. You've seen these candies 1,000 times, but now you'll never look at them the same way. Some mock holiness, others glorify self-worship, and the most dangerous one echoes pagan sacrifice. And one of them is probably sitting in your kitchen right now. So before you hand out that candy this Halloween, stay with me. What I'm about to show you will open your eyes, because what the world calls a treat can become Satan's door into your life. The first candy brand, Ferrero Rocher, was never just candy. It was built as a golden ritual. Founder Michel Ferrero moved in circles obsessed with spiritual symbolism and confectionery magic. Gold wrapping is not aesthetic coincidence, it mirrors the solar orb used in ancient sun worship. Unwrapping the foil was meant to mimic the unveiling of hidden knowledge, a ritual act. They call it a gift of light. The commercial slogan praises joy, but beneath that glow sits a spiritual counterfeit. The spherical shape of Ferrero Rocher is deliberately crafted to represent the world egg concept found in numerous occult traditions. They believe that consuming these sphere-shaped chocolates allows demonic influences to hatch within your life. The hazelnut center represents the seed of corruption. The wafer shell symbolizes the human soul that protects and nurtures this corruption until it's ready to manifest. And the chocolate coating represents the deceptive sweetness that makes spiritual poison palatable. Yet, every October, Halloween invites believers to hand these out. The Bible warns in Galatians 5:20, idolatry, sorcery, and hatred are works of the flesh. We must protect each other. Share this video with your loved ones. Now, listen closely, because this next detail changes how you'll see that gold wrapper forever. Those who practiced such things in ancient temples used gold orbs to symbolize divine energy. Ferrero's global marketing revives the same symbol and places it in Christian homes during sacred feasts. It looks holy, but it catechizes the flesh. This is not a neutral dessert. It is a small altar glowing on our tables. Scripture calls this demonic interference. Now, here's where it turns dark. Ferrero plants operate on Roman temple land in Alba, Italy. Historians have documented ruins of Mithraic chambers beneath the region. These were cults that worshipped the sun god through shared meals. This next part shocked even researchers. Ferrero executives believe their chocolates serve as vehicles for transmitting ancient wisdom and that regular consumption creates spiritual awakening. But this awakening is not toward God. The Bible warns in 2 Corinthians 11:13, such men are false apostles, deceitful workers, disguising themselves as apostles of Christ. That verse describes exactly what gold-wrapped sweetness does. It sanctifies self-indulgence while pretending to honor light. What's most disturbing is that Ferrero Rocher chocolates are specifically designed to be given as gifts during religious holidays and special occasions, strategically inserting occult influences into moments of celebration and spiritual significance. The company's marketing deliberately targets Christian holidays like Christmas and Easter. They know that when you give these during holy days, the ritual hits hardest. If you bring these objects into celebrations with loved ones, you are risking demonic influence. I know most people mean no harm. They just want to share something beautiful, but deception always hides behind good intentions. Matthew 7:15 commands, "Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves." The wolf here is culture, selling us worship disguised as dessert. Think about how easily we hand these to our children on Christmas and Easter, moments meant for the Lord's glory. If you feel confusion or apathy after such feasts, recognize the symptom. It's spiritual dullness born from unexamined ritual. Here's where it gets costly. Each golden sphere trains the heart to crave divine brilliance without divine presence. This is witchcraft dressed as generosity. The Bible warns in 1 Corinthians 10:21, "You cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of demons. You and I must choose whom we serve. Gifting is covenantal. What we offer shapes our loves." Joshua 24:15 says, "Choose this day whom you will serve." This moment is a choice of altars. Before you drop a Ferrero Rocher into a Halloween basket this year, stop and think twice about what spirit you're really sharing. Every gold sphere exchanged in ignorance teaches a silent gospel of indulgence. This is why we expose it. Let me know in the comments if this opened your eyes. And like the video. Now, if gold was the bait, the next brand is the hook. It hides a Masonic signature inside America's sweetest smile. Number 2. The Hershey Company. This one is everywhere every October, stacked high in Halloween aisles, glowing under black and orange lights like an altar of sweetness waiting for your cart. Founded in 1894 by Milton Hershey, this empire of chocolate looks innocent on the surface, but a closer look reveals patterns straight from the occult playbook. Hershey was an active participant in Masonic lodges during the industrial boom, surrounded by symbols of the all-seeing eye, compasses, and pyramids. To the public, it looked like harmless business networking, but those lodge halls taught the same occult philosophy Scripture calls the fellowship of darkness. Ephesians 5:11 says, "Take no part in the unfruitful works of darkness, but instead expose them." Hershey's famous kisses are shaped like the fertility icons used in pagan goddess worship. The upward tapered form matches carvings uncovered in Babylonian temples, symbols meant to honor Astarte, the goddess of reproduction and indulgence. The company's ads from the early 1900s boasted radiant rays, rising suns, and the watchful eye motif, echoes of Masonic iconography hiding in plain sight. Look at the Hershey's logo closely. The alignment of the letters forms 5 subtle points when traced diagonally, a pentagram hidden inside a household word. Occultists believe symbols gain power when repeated publicly, and this design has glared from candy aisles for over a century. Matthew 6:22 warns, "The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eyes are unhealthy, your whole body will be full of darkness." Every glance at that logo normalizes the gaze of the counterfeit light, the very emblem Lucifer claimed as his. Even darker are the old factory legends whispered among former employees, that Milton Hershey sought spiritual blessing for his machinery from mediums who practiced divination, hoping to guarantee endless success. The early plant blueprints contained secret geometric ratios identical to those used in Masonic lodges, numbers believed to channel prosperity energy. You decide what that means. Deuteronomy 18:10 gives no room for doubt. "Let no one be found among you who practices divination or sorcery, interprets omens, engages in witchcraft, or casts spells. Anyone who does these things is detestable to the Lord." If even one dedication prayer was spoken to spirits of fortune instead of to God, the entire foundation was cursed ground. And what was born there became the world's altar of comfort candy, teaching millions to soothe conviction with sweetness. That hits hardest during Halloween, when comfort candy becomes the ritual offering at every doorstep. That is the hidden gospel of Hershey, pleasure baptized in darkness. If you've ever felt a strange fog of laziness after binging on chocolate, that dullness is more than sugar. It's spiritual sedation. Demons exploit indulgence because craving is easier to control than conviction. This is how witchcraft operates when it goes corporate. That's why you must watch what you hand out this Halloween. If this surprised you, share it to protect another believer. Because where Hershey turned comfort into control, our next brand carved serpent worship straight into the candy aisle, a logo every child on earth can recognize. Number 3. Nestle, the empire behind Kit Kat, was founded by a man who believed food could bend the spirit. Historical records and accounts suggest Henri Nestlé was entangled with several European occult circles during the 1860s. His fascination wasn't merely with nourishment, but with what he described as spiritual alchemy, the mystical transformation of matter and spirit through food. The Nestlé family crest, marked by a bird's nest, wasn't chosen at random. In occult iconography, the nest symbolizes the cultivation of hidden or dark entities, a place where spiritual forces are fed and raised. The Bible cautions in James 3:15, "Such wisdom does not come down from heaven, but is earthly, unspiritual, demonic." So when you see that logo stamped on Halloween candy, remember, it's a symbol first, a snack second. Even the Kit Kat bar, one of Nestlé's most iconic creations, carries echoes of these esoteric ideas. That famous snap when you break a Kit Kat, it mirrors old pagan breaking rituals meant to release power. The four-finger shape aligns eerily with hand formations used in certain witchcraft ceremonies meant to fracture the veil between the material and the supernatural. But here's the eerie part. And that catchy jingle, "Give me a break," can be interpreted as more than advertising. It's a subtle incantation, a suggestion whispered to the subconscious to lower one's spiritual guard. Scripture warns us plainly in Ephesians 6:12, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." Now, here's the part that most people overlook. The company's own headquarters in Vevey rests upon land that once hosted Celtic rituals. Strangely, Nestlé has never conducted any form of spiritual cleansing on the site. Leaked documents from the 1990s hinted that executives occasionally seek counsel from occult practitioners skilled in divination to guide strategic decisions. People who work there have spoken of specialized rooms in their research facilities devoted to sensory spiritual experimentation. Rooms where researchers test how flavor changes the mind's openness to unseen influence. As Christ warned in Matthew 24:24, "For false messiahs and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and wonders to deceive." So if Nestlé built its empire on symbols of breaking and hidden wisdom, the next candy went one step further. It made worship edible, shaped into a smiling bear. Let's talk about candy number 4, Haribo. Every Halloween, bowls of bright, chewy gummy bears fill doorsteps across the world, but the name behind them carries a darkness most people have never heard of. The German confectionery empire, best known for its gummy bears, traces its origins to 1920 and its founder, Hans Riegel. He sold joy and color, yet his roots reached back into secret societies obsessed with ancient gods, specifically the Thule Society, a shadowy occult group whose influence helped shape the mystical ideologies that later underpinned the Nazi Party. The idea was rooted in old Germanic pagan customs where the bear was seen as a sacred creature, a totem bridging the mortal and spirit worlds. They used to believe consuming a symbol of the bear allowed one to draw upon its hidden power. Scripture warns in 1 Timothy 4:1, "The Spirit clearly says that in later times some will abandon the faith and follow deceiving spirits and things taught by demons." Regal's bear-shaped candies weren't just treats, they carried spiritual intent. The act of biting, chewing, and swallowing the bear was meant to echo ancient rituals of spiritual communion, symbolically absorbing the essence of the creature. Even Haribo's logo holds secrets. Embedded within its design are stylized runes once used by northern tribes to summon or communicate with dark forces. The iconic golden bear mascot mirrors the posture of idols uncovered at pre-Christian sites of bear worship, its stance uncannily identical to those used in invocation rites. Those 5 colors, red, yellow, green, white, orange, mirror the 5 elemental powers of old witchcraft. In ritual order, they were said to reshape the soul. The gummy texture itself was crafted to prolong chewing, ensuring that the mind lingered on the imagery of the bear, turning a simple act of snacking into a quiet, repetitive meditation on pagan symbolism. As 1 John 4:1 reminds us, "Dear friends, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God." People who worked inside the company say they've seen so-called enhancement rituals conducted during full moons. During these ceremonies, supervisors reportedly burn blends of incense intended to charge the gelatin base with spiritual resonance. The company's German facilities even incorporate structural patterns inspired by pagan temples, stone arrangements aligned to the winter solstice, hidden in plain sight within modern architecture. Former employees have shared disturbing accounts of team-building initiations involving chanting, rhythmic recitation, and the consumption of color-specific gummy combinations. You'd never imagine such things while tearing open a bag on Halloween night, but every system leaves its trace. Internal training documents allegedly speak of connecting consumers with ancient wisdom through the confectionery experience. As Christ cautioned in Luke 11:24, unclean spirits wander, seeking empty vessels to inhabit. And, through its rituals and symbols, Haribo may have created more than just candy. It may have engineered a form of spiritual vulnerability disguised as sweetness, and that's the real danger. It isn't just candy, it's conditioning. But the last candy brand on this list takes things to an even darker extreme. Mars Incorporated, the force behind M&Ms, Snickers, and a host of beloved candies. What few people in the Christian world realize is that Mars himself was deeply invested in astrology and other occult practices. Every time a child reaches for a fun-sized Mars bar, they're repeating a name once whispered in temples of blood. The company's very name wasn't chosen for marketing appeal. It was a deliberate invocation of Mars, the Roman god of war, a pagan entity long associated with blood sacrifice and demonic power. Every time the brand is spoken aloud, it risks inviting this presence to our lives. Scripture makes it clear in 1 Corinthians 10:20, "The sacrifices of pagans are offered to demons, not to God, and I do not want you to be participants with demons." Even the M&M characters carry a more sinister intent. Each one mirrors human weakness, anger, envy, gluttony, disguised as humor. The slogan, "melts in your mouth, not in your hand," conceals a deeper message. It reflects the way dark spiritual influence seeps into the soul quietly and imperceptibly, absorbed through pleasure rather than pain. That rainbow isn't random. Red for blood, yellow for the sun, green for earth, ancient symbols hidden in sugar. Together, they spell worship through color. The Bible reminds us in 2 Corinthians 11:14, "For Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light." These bright, cheerful tones aren't innocent. They are tools meant to make darkness look delightful. Reports from inside Mars facilities tell an even stranger story. Sources claim that blessing ceremonies are conducted over the production lines, where occult practitioners perform rituals to energize the candies, particularly during festive seasons when consumption surges. Former workers have described seeing arcane symbols scrawled across factory walls, and managers gathered in dimly lit rooms, participating in what appeared to be seances or invocations to ensure prosperity. Internal documents reportedly refer to the company's marketing philosophy as spiritual conditioning through sensory indulgence, describing the human craving for sweetness as a direct channel to influence behavior and belief. I know, it sounds impossible. These are candies we grew up with, but the enemy doesn't need your belief to work through what you love. As Jesus warned in Mark 8:36, what good is it for someone to gain the whole world, yet forfeit their soul? Mars Incorporated may have mastered the art of worldly sweetness, but beneath the sugar lies something far more bitter. And that's why this matters, because the war for souls doesn't skip the candy aisle. If you thought about giving these out this Halloween, I hope this video changed your mind for the better. The enemy rarely shows up with horns. He comes wrapped in gold foil, smiling through an ad, whispering that pleasure means peace. You've seen these candies 1,000 times, but now you'll never look at them the same way. Now I want to hear from you. Which candy brand shocked you the most? Tell me in the comments. Remember what Jesus said in Matthew 7:15. Watch out for false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ferocious wolves. That warning isn't just about people. It's about anything that trains you to love comfort more than truth. If you were planning to hand these out this Halloween, stop and think first. One piece of candy isn't worth opening a door you can't close. Halloween turns darkness into entertainment, and that's how deception grows. One laugh, one wrapper, one tiny compromise at a time. Discernment is not fear, it's protection. What enters your home teaches your heart. What you bless with your hand becomes part of your witness. The Lord calls His people to live set apart, even in the small things, because holiness is built in habits. If this opened your eyes, share it to protect another believer. The more truth spreads, the less ground Satan holds. And if you're ready to keep uncovering what hides in plain sight, watch my other videos and protect your family. Hit subscribe and like the video. I will see you soon.